Okay guys, welcome back. In this video, we'll cover the fourth part of chapter 10. Okay, that is ethics and leadership. Okay, so as a leader, we must be an ethical leader. Okay, what is ethics? Etika. Okay, ethics can be defined as a set of moral principles and values. Okay, so we must be ethical, okay? Set of moral principles and values. But as a leader, sometimes there are ethical dilemmas arise, okay? When our personal values come into conflict, okay? Okay, we will look into what is ethical dilemma later, okay? These authors, Trevino and Nelson, define ethics as the principles, norms, and standards of conduct that guide individuals or groups. Okay, what is culture? Culture is the shared belief, assumption, and values that we learn from society. And a project manager is the leader who manages the project. Okay, sometimes we are confused between ethics and legality. Okay, this is the framework for ethics versus legality. The first one we have that ethical and legal, okay, this part usually clear, and also illegal and unethical, usually clear. For example, what are the things that ethical and legal? Okay, for example, as a project manager, you treat your members for example, lunch break or monthly reward using your own money. Okay, so it is ethical and legal. And things that are unethical and illegal. For example, you as the project manager, you didn't distribute the project budget accordingly. For example, the project cost supposedly is 200,000, okay, but you just spend 100,000 for the project, and the half of it you take it on your own. Okay, so it is unethical and illegal. Okay, so these two parts are clear, okay? But sometimes we are confused between the things that are unethical but legal. Okay, it is unethical, but from the law, it is legal. Okay, what is the example? Okay, for example, you are working in Netherlands, for example, okay, in Netherlands, okay, and you trade your team members with, okay, with drugs, okay, you trade them with drugs, okay, with weed, okay, so it is unethical, but in Netherlands weed is legal, okay, so that is the example of unethical but legal, okay. Or the other example for unethical but legal is, okay, let's say you are working in this one country, okay, and you hire a child labor, okay, you hire child laborers, okay, so it is unethical, okay, you hire child labor, you hire kids to do the work, okay, but in some countries it is legal, okay, so that is another example for unethical but legal. Okay, and the last one is ethical but illegal. Okay, what is the example? Okay, for example, you and your team, okay, you conduct a CSR event. Okay, CSR event. You want to feed the homeless. Okay, feed the homeless. Okay, so it is ethical, but in some countries, feed the homeless is illegal. Okay, so that is the example of the ethical but illegal. Okay, so as the project manager or as a leader, you must have the understanding, you must know the clear picture, the difference between the ethics and also the legality. Okay, okay, next we will look into what are types of ethical leadership. Okay, first, socialization, a process where people who are brought into an organization learn its culture. Okay, so when we move or when we join the organization, there are some cultures that we need to follow or we need to adapt to. It can be through formal means such as training, or through less formal means, for example, interaction with supervisors and co-workers. Okay, New people learn not only how to dress appropriately, but what behaviors are acceptable and unacceptable. Subsequently, socialization can encourage or discourage ethical behavior. Okay, for example, socialization, when you join the organization, you will see, okay, the other people attire, okay, are they wearing some casual attire or formal attire? Are they wearing jeans or not? Okay, so we can learn from that culture. Okay, the other example is working hours. Okay, there are some companies that are not strictly about the working hours. As long as you deliver, as long as your working hours is complete, then it is fine for you. For example, in some companies, they provide the guideline. Okay, the working hours from 9 to 6. Okay, but they are not strictly implemented. Okay, let's say you want to come from, let's say, 12 p.m. and you will stay at the office until 10 p.m., for example. So there are some companies that allow you to do so. Okay, or there are some companies that allow employee to working from home. Okay, so that is the socialization. Okay, next is unethical leadership. Okay, usually weak moral individuals and weak moral managers. Okay, unethical, I think you know what kind of unethical leadership, such as bribe, or in this example, Chen So. Okay, a successful business leader but was known for emotionally abusing employees. Okay, subordinates were expected to make the numbers at all cost. As a result, people used questionable accounting practices and sales technique, and he was caught lying and trying to cover up these practices, and then was fired. Okay, and need to pay for some settlement. Okay, so abusing employees, so it is unethical. Or you hire a cheap labor, for example, internship student. Okay, there are organizations who hire internship for cheap labor, but this intern student need to work like the real worker. Okay, so it is unethical. Okay, and there are some leaders who will disturb their employees, for example, at 12 a.m. still messaging their employee to ask this and to ask that, and expecting some immediate feedback. Okay, so that is unethical. Okay, okay, second is hypocritical leadership, possibly the worst type of leader, because he or she seems like have the integrity and ethical conduct, but later they engage in unethical behavior. Okay, so this is, we call it as hypocrite. Okay, so for example, Jim Becker developed a company, okay, and used the religious and become the religious broadcasting empires. Okay, convince people to purchase a membership for hotels, but then actually there are only 25,000 membership that are available, but they sold 66,000, okay, which is more than the allocated membership. Okay, so why we call this as hypocrite? Okay, why not unethical? Okay, because you portray yourself as a good leader. Okay, you portray yourself as someone that is religious, for example, or you keep asking people to do something to show that you have that integrity, but later you are the one who break, or you are the one who engage in unethical behavior. So that's why we call them as hypocrite or hypocritical leadership. Okay, next, ethically neutral leadership. Okay, a leader who is not a strong or weak ethical leader, but doesn't provide clear ethical guidance. Okay, so people may not know the leader's ethical belief or whether the leader cares. Okay, so for example, a leader, okay, in this example, okay, this chairman, Sandy, okay, this Sandy knows there is a problem in this company. Okay, knows that this company engage in questionable business practices, okay, but this leader didn't do anything until someone make a report or that problems became public, okay, so then only he take an action, okay. Or the other example, okay, for example, me as a lecturer, okay, so let's say Shafiqah didn't come to the class, okay, for the half of the semester she didn't come to my class, okay, but I'm not saying anything, okay, or I didn't make any report to the for the Temu Bicara faculty. I just let her do what she want to do, okay. But then later in the other subject, let's say the other lecturer make a report because Shafiqah didn't come to the other lecturer's class, okay, and then the KPP asked me, did Shafiqah come to my previous classes? Then I said no, okay, but I didn't take any action until KPP asked me, why didn't you take any action towards her, okay. So after the KPP asked me, then later I will make a report, okay. So that is ethically neutral leadership. It means that it is wrong and the leader know that it is wrong, but he or she didn't take any action, okay, until someone raised the issue, okay. Okay, next, ethical leadership. Okay, so this is very straightforward. Someone who make it clear about the ethical, about the integrity, okay. And that are the ethical leadership, okay. Okay, next let's look at into ethical dilemma, common ethical dilemma. For example, in the human resource situation, okay, issues that can lead to ethical situation include discrimination, privacy, harassment, as well as appraisal, discipline, hiring, firing, and layoff. Okay, so for example, for example, harassment. Okay, for example, my team members make a report about the other people, about my close friend that do the harassment towards her, for example. So I might be in the ethical dilemma. Either I want to take the action or not. Okay, hiring. Okay, we have cable. Okay, so someone passed the CV of their own relative, for example. Okay, so that are the example of ethical dilemmas. Okay, next, conflict of interest. Okay, for example, if you receive a gift from someone, okay, so is it a bribe, or people can judge you if you receive that gift, okay. So could a gift or personal favor from a vendor or a customer be viewed as having an influence on your judgment or decision? Okay, so this is the conflict of interest. Or the other example that is much close to you is, okay, during the FYP exhibition, students are always prepare some goodies to give to her examiner, okay, to give to his or her examiner, okay, which is actually it is wrong, okay. So there is a semester where all of the students are being told to not to give any goodies anymore, okay, because there is a semester where I get, because there is a semester where some lecturers get the secret recipes cake, okay, and many other goodies, okay. So yeah, we can say that lecturers weren't affected, okay. Let's say I would say, no, I'm strict with the student, okay, this gift won't influence me in giving the marks. We can say that, okay, but we must avoid it, okay, because it can be questioned later, okay. I know in some companies, okay, their policy is their staff are not allowed to receive any gift from anyone, okay. So that is their policy, okay, because we want to avoid the conflict of interest. Okay, next, confidence. Okay, relationship with project stakeholders require maintaining a strong sense of confidence with respect to such issues as confidentiality, product safety, reliability, truth in advertising. Okay, in maintaining our relationship with the project stakeholders, we must have that a clear draw line. Okay, what can be done and what cannot be done. Okay, and lastly, corporate resources. Okay, you are an agent or representative of your organization, and your action can be considered the actions of your organization. Okay, for example, you want to you have a business, okay, outside of your normal working hours, okay, but you use your business card, okay, I mean your ITM business card, okay. You are not representing your ITM for your business, okay, so it can lead to some ethical issues, okay. Stationaries, okay, stationaries, our organization stationaries, I bring it to be used by my kids, for example, okay, so it is wrong, okay, or email address, okay, or I talk to the media and pretend that I'm the representative of the ITM of my organization, so it is wrong, okay. So company resources should only be used for business unless the organization has specific policies. So we should not misuse the company resources. Okay, so when you are in ethical dilemma, okay, how to make ethical decision. Okay, so you need to gather the facts, define the ethical issue, identify the affected stakeholders, the consequences, obligation, and you consider your character and integrity, and then you will decide on that any ethical issues. Okay. Okay, and the last part of this topic, finally, okay, the wisdom of teams. Okay, so basically in this topic, it shows the difference between team and also group. Okay, so what's important, you need to know the difference between work group and real teams. Okay, for example, work groups, no joint work products, no shared performance goals. Members interact to share information, best practices, or ideas. For example, study group, we are working together during the study group, but our goal is different. Okay, for example, my goal is I want to get an A for this subject, but the other people's goal in the same study group, so he might aim for B. Okay, for example, so our goal might be different, okay, but we are working together for it, okay. While team, okay, small number of people and has a common goals to achieve, okay, and has a complementary skill. Okay, for example, one member very good in programming, the other member very good in analysis, the other member very good in talking, okay. So each of the team members has a complementary skill, okay, and committed to a common purpose. Okay, we have the same goal to achieve. For example, we want to make this project success. Okay, all of the team members has the same goal. Okay, so that is the difference between group and work group and real team, and everyone is accountable to achieve the goal. Okay, so this one you can read it later. Okay, so oh, ada lagi. Oh my god. Okay, we continue in the next video. Okay, bye.